Happy Saturday, guys. Welcome back. Shrink here. I've been waiting to do this video for a while. I know the angle might look funny, like it's pretty crammed here, but it's just not, right? I sit 6 feet away. Speakers about 7 feet apart. That's the baffles. And then the bookshelves approach getting close to 6. Again, not ideal, but very, very, very good. So I just wanted to come here and recommend not the latest and greatest, not the new shiny box on the block, none of that stuff, or something that's been reviewed 100 times. I'm going to talk about the things that have remained in my room for years and that I would recommend 100% to anyone, even that's been on this journey for 30 years or more. For instance, let's get to the speakers here. So once the open baffles, the Spatials came in, which are obviously the big reds with the dual 15-inch drivers and the compression driver at the back. I was kind of on that Rolodex. I just said to myself, how can I get the most full range sound in a smallish space because I like dynamics and I like bass and of course I like a refined top end, but I'm a rock listener and I want to feel it. Even at low volume, I want that bass to extend up into my chair, almost like I'm getting a massage. So I thought, how could I do that? So, I always had my eye on the Spatials just because of the beauty of them. Like, again, it's the less is more type industrial, gorgeous. It's just a gorgeous speaker. It's way nicer than the new ones look. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. You can't even get this beautiful red either. Just a spectacular red, kind of flat, maraschino sherry. I've talked about them 100 times, and I'll continue to do so on my channel. And I will recommend the topology because basically, I was able to hear them in a larger room. And just to let you know, guys, this is going to be a long video, and I hope you really can tune in and try to get something out of it. Because these are the shrink's prescriptions for some people that believe in me, and that are having issues trying to get something that they can engage with in their even smallish space. So I heard these in a bigger room, which was a kind of a really long, just a much bigger room than mine, right? And I was looking for that punch that I needed. I wanted to feel it, and then the dynamics and so on and so forth. And I just didn't get there in that room, but I thought, wait a minute. I'm sitting so much closer. My room is a lot smaller. So like I say, as we do, we're whistling in the dark a lot of times until we get something in our own room, until we really know what we got, regardless of what's said on YouTube or any of these big publications. So within the first song, when I got these big ass suckers out of their boxes, I knew I hit the jackpot. And that was like 2000, what would that have been? 2015, 2016. They've been here ever since, doing what they need to do, man, for me to engage and love my music. So that's the first speaker that came in and did that to me. And then I always want to own a stand mount. Always. And I've seen, oh God, I don't even want to list them, guys. Anywhere up to 10 grand anyway, because that retail, that's kind of the depth of the pool, maximum depth that I'm going to play in. Because I know how much better and how much more money it's going to cost to get a very subtle improvement. So I always kind of played around with $5,000 retail stand mounts. So, and there are a few that I sold that I kind of regret. One was the Amphion Argon 3S. Absolutely gorgeous speaker. It's just on such a higher level than the Bucart that I had. And everything, the fit and the finish. Once you look up close, sorry guys, you can tell a difference, man. The fins, when it's built there, you see the difference. But as you can see here, guys, these totems I've already done videos on them. To me, it baffles me that anyone that gets their hands on these speakers would ever sell them. But I understand why, because on my journey, I sold many things that I didn't really know what I had. It was just compulsion and wanting to change for really no apparent reason. But I know now that these things are never going anywhere. I just cannot believe the value that they give from every single area. Like, I mean, guys, the aluminum proprietary driver, it's all aluminum, like, and it's thick. Like, it's, the turret driver is so incredible. The Lamborghini paint finish, you can almost see your face in it. And then you go to the back and you think, okay, they're just going to have these cheap regular binding posts I've seen on $20,000 speakers. No, they're the best you can get. WBT Signature Platinums, guys. Those are $1,000 for 8 alone. How does a company put such a part on a speaker that retailed $5,000? Even the port is hand machined aluminum. So, I don't know. I hope you can get your hands on these. These are a speaker that, in my opinion, if you're after a stand mount, that you want superb dynamics, a speaker that you can continue to drive, and you don't need hundreds of watts or 100-pound amplifiers to drive them. These things are going to just blow you away, man. They sound better and better the more you turn them up. The bass extension just belies belief and the dynamics. They do, and for those people that use subs, go ahead, you can. But these hit 40 hertz, and that's enough for me, okay? The Spatials get down to 32. I just want a balanced presentation, but I need the dynamics and speed of the bass to be there. Believe it or not, guys, the Spatials are even quicker. It's hard to defy the logic on that, on how a 15-inch driver can feel quicker than a 6, but it's just, that's the philosophy of Clayton Shaw. So those are my speakers that open baffle anything that Clayton Shaw has built. Yeah, there's more expensive baffles. You guys can go there if you like, but I'm recommending the Triode Masters for the sweet spot. It's probably the best value speaker that he ever built, in my opinion. Yeah, there's the Caledon now. It's about $1,000 less than these were. It's a smaller speaker. I don't like the aesthetic, but I'm sure it just sounds absolutely incredible. I would recommend them without even hearing them. I just would. So then we'll get to the amplification here. As you can see, the gorgeous yellow tube amp that I've done reviews and spoke religiously about because it's a game ender. Mainly just because of how versatile this amplifier is. How many different types of speaker loads this can drive would baffle you at its 20 watt per channel rating. As I've always sworn in the past, you cannot go by the papers or the specs of any component until you get it in your room. This thing drives these totems like a piece of cake, and they're 87 dB. Yeah, they're an 8 ohm load, but you know, this has the 4, 8, and 16 taps at the back. It's just, it is such an unbelievable amplifier, guys. Not only in aesthetic, build quality, but also reliability. I have not even had to rebias these tubes in 6 years, and they're just the stock tubes. There is absolutely no noise. You could put your ear to the driver, and because of the hum balancer, which it has when you're setting it up and biasing when you first install your tubes, it's an amp that I really hope you can get your hands on, a single-ended Triode 845. It's one of the world's best amplifiers at any price, okay? You're just, anything like that that's built in the United States, or even Unison Research flagship 845, these are approaching 60 grand. And then you get other companies, they're around 20, 25 grand. You can get this thing. I know it's not the same brother's ownership, but it's still a really good amp. The replacement is called the 845. I'm going to say that it's going to, I don't believe it's going to be quite as good as this. It definitely isn't when you got the three-tone finishes. I mean, that just ups the cost, so no wonder they stopped offering that. Like, I just think it's the most beautiful component in the world, man. That, whatever. Sorry, it just is. Anyone that even comes in the room here that's not even into this stuff just says, wow, man, that looks like it belongs in a museum or something. It's got a similar paint finish as the Totem. Like when you get up close, it's just one of the best, you know, piano finish white, pearl white automotive I've ever seen. So you can do no wrong with this amplifier, guys. It's very compact. 12 inches deep, but it's very heavy at the back there. with those, you know, the toroidal, or sorry, the transformer windings. So please, if you can find an original one of these, 120 volt, mint condition, and you know, you don't own Magnapans or something like that, this thing's going to drive most anything in a smallish space. You'd have to have more efficient speakers for a huge space, but it is just so reliable and so great. And what you see right beside it, I've done videos on that. John's a friend of mine. I basically got his first tables, man, because when I saw his product and that he cut no corners, and this is all built right here in Vancouver, I knew I had to have it. And he's succeeded as a company. He's got dealers all over the world. Well, the United States and Canada, you know, and I got some special things going on there which aren't available anymore. Too expensive to get the angled platter, so mine's the Horizon. And it's an early version. The power supply is standing up beside at the back there, which is his first one, which he admits is as costly as his new speed controller. Mine only does 33 only, but I'm okay with that. That's what I selected. It's got the K2 tone arm. I've used the Ortofon A90 for years and will continue to. It's just it's a statement piece. The build quality, you know, even the wife would love that. You know, it's a heirloom piece that's just going to last for a lifetime. You buy it locally, you got any issues, John will take care of you. The pure Fidelity Horizon, again, less is more. It's not this big, humongous fucking things with all these levels on it and shit. I'm not putting that stuff down. It's just not for me, man. I want an elegant piece that just fits in the rack and just, it's timeless, right? It's got the K2 tone arm, which is a highly modded Rega arm. It's a secret recipe. He doesn't offer it anymore. Just the cost became too much for the individual that was doing these mods, and that will remain unnamed. So of course this table's very, very expensive, but if you have the money, and you know, he offers some other incredible finishes. I prefer the rosewood, and I don't like a real sheen. I like it to look somewhat like the wood. I don't want it to shine like plastic. I want my wood to look like wood. So there you go. So far, that's 4 components that, you know, that have stood the test of time for me. And that's after 30 years in and seeing hundreds of components here. It took a long time to arrive here. And that's what I try to tell people, man. When you get something that you engage with, yeah, there's thousands of other things out there. Try not to be compulsive. Just keep it. Because you may be making a big mistake and you may be starting to be looking for that goddamn prescription all over again, you know? And it's very elusive. You have to realize, guys, you all know it anyway that's been doing it, just how much of a mistake it can make, one component leaving the chain, you know? You may never find it again, and if that floats your boat, that you want to just keep rolling on that wheel, I don't know. Go ahead. It's just not for me. There's better things. It can become very selfish and isolating, and you know, all over just some materials. It's not worth it. So now we'll get to the most life-changing component I have ever owned in my entire life. That replaced like 16,000, way more, probably about 25, approaching $30,000 worth of separate gear. Is right below the line magnetic, and that's the good old Bel Canto, man. I've raved about it. You know, people, I no doubt it, that this component can, if you're sick of the clutter, you're having an issue, trying to get synergy in your room, well, you know, there it is, right, with that beautiful legible display. You got a beautifully designed sleek box that's got 180 watts per channel, and believe me, it does. And I've had amps that are anemic solid state AB amps that don't even come close to this, the effortless dynamics. Complete analog presentation. Yeah, it's class D, but guys, I'm telling you, there's a lot of amplifiers out there calling themselves like, I'm an all-in-one. Well, the ones I've had, and I've had many, there's at least 2 afterthoughts. This thing is a fully integrated system, meaning it replaced components that were thousands of dollars. Like even the NUS Zen MK3 is $5,000 in itself. I'm not saying this is better, but I'm losing nothing using the E1X as a fully integrated system, driving the Spatials, okay? Now this thing is $8,500 US, okay? For those of you that are on the gerbil wheel still and think that that's a lot of money, well, look at all the time and money this thing can save, okay? I had no idea, coming from phono stages that have gone up to $12,000 in my room, that I could live with this thing. And of course I had the luxury to sit with it for 3 weeks before I made any decisions, which I know is not, it's not going to be easy, near impossible for a lot of people. But you just don't see the E1X integrated. You see the other ones come up, but you don't see this one come up because, guys, the synergy is all taken care of for you. It just sounds incredible. And its design is to replicate the single-ended triode 845. You have to just research into John Stronzer's mission and goal ever since he stopped building single-ended triode 845s, okay? So I'm going to tell you right now that the DAC is reference level. The streaming and app is it's the most stable component. I've had more bugs with the $5,000 streamers. This thing is just, I can't rave enough about it, and I feel that it's cheap for what it offers. For you guys that got the money and you want the clutter gone and you're having a problem completing the synergy in your room or the matching with components, I know I hate that word. But this is what the shrink's about. He's not about, oh, look at this new piece that came in. No, I'm recommending things that are tried and true in my room for years. I don't need to have things come in here to entertain you all, because I've built a system that I stand behind, that I recommend other people get these components so they can possibly end their journey and turn it into music enjoyment, not searching out to try to get better, because there really is no, it's just going to be different, right? And it could take a very, very long time to engage you once again. So there we go. That's, I mean, I got the pecan orchard down there. No one has it yet. They're not even shipping till late April, but I did buy it because I feel that highly about it. But I'm only gonna recommend right now the components that I've lived with for years, and I haven't lived with the totems, but they've already proven themselves. They're staying. The Totem Element Ember. So these are the ones right now that I'm recommending to people if they have the funds. You know, comparing to what else is out there, guys. You know, you can go buy the Wilsontons or even the, you know, the whatever Thomas's new Galleon and stuff like that. I'm sorry, man. It's not going to come close to this 845 single-ended triode. Designers don't even want to work with this kind of voltage. It's so dangerous, man. It's another level, guys. It's, you know, it could end your journey when it comes to tube amps or amps in general. So those are my components that I recommend 100%. These are my prescriptions to you all, okay? You got your Spatial M3 Triode Master. You can pick these up for, I don't know, $2,000, $2,500 on the used market. You know, the Totem Element Embers don't come up too much. You know, you get them around $2,200, $2,500 USD on the used market. You get your pure Fidelity, which unfortunately I've never seen used, maybe once or twice in the last 8 years. And he has the step below this, which is still going to be a superb table. Doesn't have the isolation, 25-pound hand CNC machined isolation platform. Doesn't have the huge bearing, you know. So you got your pure Fidelity, either Horizon. He's got mine's different shape plinth. I don't like the square plinth. I like the way this looks. It's kind of like the AMG. And then you got your Bel Canto world-changing, just journey-ending component. Just absolutely unbelievable piece of cutting-edge technology. Now it's down below underneath the Line Magnetic E1X, and then you got your single-ended triode Line Magnetic 518. These are 4 components, guys, that I believe in my heart that will stop you and get you closer to just enjoying your music collection and not even thinking about audio equipment, okay? That's what I'm trying to do on YouTube. I don't care what the others are doing. I'm different. So there you go, guys. Like and subscribe to the Shrink, man. I'm here to prescribe the medication to end the pain. And if you feel so kind, there's a donation down there. You can press the heart, send me a super thanks. I love you all. Thanks so much. Take care.